чертов! Будь ты проклят! Иди, идиот, трахать тебя и всю семью! Говно собачье, жлоб вонючий! Дерьмо, сука, падла! Иди сюда, мерзавец! Негодяй, гад, иди сюда, ты говно! Жопа!
Опачки!
Будь ты проклят! Дерьмо, сука!
Opachki!
Hello and welcome to the Opatchkast, the Average Joe podcast, for Tarkov at least. I'm one of your hosts, Dirty, aka Colin.
And I'm Highmark. Jason.
Yeah, and you'll probably hear me call him Dad. So we are doing a podcast for the Average Joe and Tarkov. I feel like there's not a lot of representation for yeah, I know.
That's a big word. That's a big word for you there, bud.
Hey, come on, man. For the average Joe in this game, a lot of the big guys, I mean, they put, I don't know, probably 12 hours a day in the game, and guys like us who only get maybe 20 hours in a week don't have a lot of yeah, whatever, fuck that word. So and we're going to follow a little format. We're going to kind of do a pre-raid, a raid, and then a post-raid. The pre-raid's going to be kind of our daily lives, not much Tarkov content in it, just kind of talking about what's going on with everything.
And as a warm up, right?
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
you would,
exactly.
like we were saying before, a scav raid,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Your scav to start the day out, get the muscles loose, all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, your arm, you need to warm it up, your hands and shit. And then during the raid section, we're going to talk mostly about Tarkov, game theory, what's going on with patch notes, kind of just all the stuff like that from the average Joe's eyes, I would say, right? And then post raid, we're kind of going to conclude everything up and maybe talk about some content we've been watching. It doesn't have to be Tarkov. It will probably mostly be Tarkov because that's a lot of the content I consume, but a lot of other stuff. Right, Dan?
Yep. That sounds about right, man.
All right, so let's start. We're going to talk about kind of our stats right now in this wipe. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Let's talk about the wipe so far. What do you think about it?
So far, I've enjoyed this wipe more than the past, and I guess maybe even going in even before that is we should let people know kind of when we started playing this game, right?
True, yeah.
I started the December before Interchange came out, and I think you were just like a month before that. I think you had the game first, and then I was like, shit, that looks fun. I should probably download that as well.
Yeah, I think I literally started a day before 2018. I think I started just December 29th of 2017, if that sounds right.
Okay, yeah. So then I must have been in January then of 2018. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So we've been playing the game for a while, and we still suck.
Oh,
so,
it's brutal. Absolutely brutal.
I would consider myself average, maybe a tad above average, maybe. But I have above average hours in this game. Let's just say that.
True. So in our stats page is the top right hours.
That's hours account lifetime.
Okay.
Let's hear it. What's yours?
The one that says online, yeah.
Online.
Okay. I'm at 1910 hours.
I'm at 30. I'm at 3,300. 3,033.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You have another 1,000 hours than I do?
Sadly, yes.
How though? I mean, we usually don't play this game with other people. I mean, you don't usually play this game without me, and vice versa.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe AFK, because before they had the 30-minute and then you get kicked out. I don't know if that counted as hours. I'm assuming it did. So maybe it's AFK hours, a lot of it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I could see some of that.
All right, and then let's talk about raids overall. This wipe. What are
Oh
you at?
yeah, so the wipe itself overall, so coming from, like I said, from before interchange was even in the damn game, I've had probably the most enjoyable raids up until this point that I've ever had. Usually I enjoy the game and I'll get to sometimes level 40. Very seldom do I even get to level 40 before I kind of peter off and go find something else to do. Um and I haven't got to level 40 yet. I'll be, we'll talk about some of our stats later.
Yeah,
But I'm still enjoying the shit out of it. I mean, there's days where I could throw my computer across the room for sure. But so far, I've really enjoyed this because I like I don't build guns. I use what I find
yeah,
more often than not. I'll add a piece here or there if I need to, but I use what I find more often than not, and I've been able to sustain that gameplay for a long time this wipe compared to what I have in the past.
yeah. And in the past too. I feel like right now it's really easy to maintain weapons and gear in this wipe for some reason compared to the past. Because like the last couple, I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little bit better, which I highly doubt, or if it's just the way that the wipe is going right now. Because you can't be as fast as you were in the last wipes in general because the inertia. But I feel like you don't lose gear as fast. And in the past, I was always struggling, but right now, I'm doing pretty good. 14 million. I have like a I'm doing I have more class 6 armors right now than I ever had last wipe entirely. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy. I don't know what the
So
difference is.
so that with that being said, I don't find myself struggling as bad as I did last wipe.
Yeah.
Meaning I don't feel like I have to scav raid as much as I did last wipe.
Yeah.
I'm still like I want to say I just hover around the 1 million mark. Like
Yeah.
I'll go down. I think like right now I'm at 900,000, right? I'll go down all the way down to like 100K. And then I'll do a scav, and that's when I start panicking, and I'll do a scav raid, in between, on cooldown a couple of times, and then I'll get back up to 1 million, and then I'll stop doing that.
Yeah.
Um, but I felt, especially like last patch, I had to live on my scav,
Oh yeah.
um because especially towards the end I was just taking ass beatings constantly,
Yeah.
and losing gear constantly, and I don't seem to be doing that as much this patch.
Yeah. Yeah. It and like in the beginning, I hated inertia. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's still
I had to talk you off the ledge a few times on it.
dude. It makes you feel you feel like a boat. You do. Even with no armor on, you feel like a boat. But I've gotten used to it. My strength skill has gotten up a little bit, so that helps. And honestly, it feels better. You have to be a little more committal with your peaks. You can't just shoulder peek and then go right back in with the net code. You literally couldn't see the guy before you got shot half of the time. And nowadays with inertia, you don't really get that often.
Yeah, as a guy that doesn't is not super aggressive, I play. I guess maybe we should talk about our play styles, right?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little more,
Let's do that.
to kind of come along with this, because we play, mostly we play as a duo, the two of us, and then we'll have a third or a fourth person come in with
Yeah,
us, um, and depending on what they are, but generally the third and the fourth person are that we play with are super ratty, and
yeah.
they kind of clean up the scraps. You hold W. I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. Let's be honest. You hold
Yeah.
W,
I
right?
I hold W to a fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Like to where I don't even loot half of the time because I'm looking for the next fight.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it,
I know
I'm
you're
a
good.
good wingman,
Yeah.
right? I'm a
Yeah.
good wingman, and I will follow him in,
Yeah.
and make sure that he has someone there to help back up. And I think maybe a lot of that comes from
Like
we played,
Counter-Strike? Yeah, Counter-Strike and
we
shit like
played
that?
Counter Strike together a bunch, and I was always, either
Support.
I would
Yep.
support, come in behind him because he loved to entry, and I wasn't a good person to be following up because, let's be honest, I'm an old man, and my
Oh.
my headshots aren't there. So,
Oh,
but
dude,
but
be quiet.
but the point is that I follow him to a fault sometimes and get myself killed, usually before he does. I'm usually following, but somehow I die first. Whatever. So
Dude.
I think I've nicknamed myself Meat Shield 1,
Yeah.
and when I die it's Meat Shield 1 down.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And our cousin, my cousin's Meat Shield too.
yeah.
So, um, so we kind of talked about our play styles. Obviously, I am a meathead. I hear gunshots, I go for them. If you're playing by yourself, you're pretty reserved,
I
right?
play
You're
pretty
pretty.
reserved. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I run solo, I avoid most confrontation. Unless I'm 100%, no, not even 100%. If I'm 90% sure that I can win that fight, then I'll take it.
Yeah.
But in most instances, I try to avoid confrontation. Playing solo.
Yeah.
When I play with Dirty, I have to hold W and be his backup just in case.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
try. Probably what usually gets me killed the majority of the time is I will try and flank when he gets in an engagement, and for whatever reason I choose bad flank positions, and that's how I
there's
die
a
first.
fourth.
Or
There's a fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fourth or a third that you're like, that. Why is there so many of them?
Right. True.
So we kind of got on a tangent. Let's go into stats. Let's talk about overall raids. What do you got right now? What's your number?
363 raids total.
So I have 503. Let's go over survival rate. Let's just kind of like run through this just real fast.
Actually, real quick, I do want to talk about the run throughs, because in the past, run throughs have been a big deal for me. I have done the go in, run to a spot, get as much gear as I could, and then get out, right? And gotten run throughs in the past, specifically for questing stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't done that at all this, and I only have one run through, and that was just recently, when we did when we were trying to get a gazelle and whatever it is down to a certain percentage, Ford armor down to a certain percentage. We just went into a factory run, and I just had him shoot me in the chest with a brand new gazelle, and then I extracted so that I could get that quest finished. So that's literally the only run through I have. Is I have one run through.
I have one. No clue when I got it. No idea.
Sure. Okay.
But I usually don't get many because I either die trying or
right. Yeah, you never had that issue. I was more of a run through person, mainly trying to get quests on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
that's like not Postman Matt Pat, delivery from the past.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So let's go survival rate.
Yeah. Right now my survival rate's at 32%.
Oh, really?
Why? What is yours?
42.
Really? See, that's right there. That tells you I constantly Meat Shield 1 down.
True. Let's talk about kills. Just kind of going over it real fast.
555.
I have 1657.
Yeah. So a couple of things. Let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple of things is because he holds W, and he is like Colin, Dirty is a significantly good shot. The kid played CS:GO since he was young, right? And would spend hours not even playing CS:GO, just sitting in an aim map, and practicing aim. So for me to get a jump, even on a scav, I need to hustle my ass up to get that kill. So he has a tendency to hoover up a lot of the kills in the raids that we're playing, whether they're PMCs or scavs.
I try not to.
Bullshit.
I try, dude.
Bullshit.
When
I
you guys
have
need
to
kills,
come in and say, dude, I need scav kills this raid.
true.
I have
But
got to get them. Please stop killing them.
hey, we made a pact
We
early
did.
on when
The beginning of the swipe, you're right.
it was like 2 wipes ago. We were like, okay, we keep on dying to scavs or players because one of us is trying to kill them. We'll just kill them and we'll just do it kind of more passively, right?
Yeah, more
Which is
natural for sure.
which I think is a good thing for any group that's playing the game. Is just um if you have that kill lined up and you're trying to wait for your teammate and you're not in danger, maybe wait for him. But if it's going to be dangerous real quick, then just take him out and say sorry and then move on to the next one because your gear right now is going to be worth more than that guy's one kill for his quest, you know.
I
So,
think that's a philosophy that we've been trying to get more and more of, and we even fail even within the raids. But right now, we keep trying to tell ourselves, take the W, right?
yeah.
Take that win, you know, and then extract and reset, come back and go at it again, because you can always bring the gear you have back in, right? Take the
Mhm.
W of the couple of scav kills and looting. You know, you looted this room or that room, and we're good. Now let's just get out, right? We want to fight. Let's get out. Because there's been too many times where in the past you and I have overstayed our welcome,
Oh, I
if you
agree.
will,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
ended
yeah.
up turning
Got greedy.
and
We got greedy.
ended up turning a pretty decent W into a fucking loss,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big thing that we've done a lot better this wipe than in the past as well.
Yeah, we don't got to worry about content, man. We can take our little W's. We don't got to worry about making the
Yeah.
big W for a
True.
clickbait title.
True.
Yeah, we don't got to worry about that shit. Yeah, so
we don't need to worry about the pogs per minute.
no, we don't. Well, I'm not farming pogs, baby. I'm
Yeah.
farming rubles, you know.
Jesus. All right.
Let's go W's in a row. You're
Ooh.
let's write on a missing in an action on the top, middle.
Yeah, survivals in a row.
Yep.
7.
Dude, me too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's pretty good for me, I think. But
Yeah, me as well. That's not normal.
no. And the last one, because I mean, kills overall is pretty cool, but let's talk about PMC kills.
Oh,
Let's
sure.
just look at that one, and then we'll kind of.
You're just trying to flex right now.
No.
No. That's it. That's all he's trying to
No.
do right now is just flex.
No,
Let's be honest.
because the average Joe does. I mean, they can kill a scav, but PvP is hard, right?
Sure.
So let's just talk about
Especially
that.
in this game, man.
Yes.
It seems like every single fucking person is a goddamn headshot machine.
Mm-hmm.
I very seldom, and it seems like I kill PMCs by limbing them, you know, or chest shots. I very seldom get killed by anything other than head eyes, head nape, whatever the case is. So yeah, this game is rough in that way. But I have 127 PMCs killed.
Okay. Yeah, I have 504, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I get
almost as many PMCs killed as I have entire kills combined.
It's the W key, bro.
So this goes right into what's your level right now?
43.
And I'm 35. And like I said, we've played almost this entire wipe so far with each other.
I do have quite a few more raids.
You do have quite a few more raids than I do. You're right. But I don't think you have 7 levels worth of more raids than I do.
No. It's that KD number, you know.
Oh yeah.
5.8. I mean, that's just XP right there, you know.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. 100% that's XP.
And the nice thing about killing people is it's XP that you don't have to worry about getting out of with. You know, you can. I mean, obviously if you get out of the raid, you get that 0.5 multiplier, but it's not like, I don't know.
Right. No. Yeah. It's not like making sure you get out with a piece of equipment to turn in for a raid. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or turn in for a quest. Right.
Yeah. So, all right. I kind of want to get into a few topics.
Okay.
The first one is what's your go-to weapon this wipe? And I'm gonna have probably a few categories for you, but what's your go-to AR? Let's just say AR this wipe.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been M4. I kind of took the if you want to call it RP or whatever the
Hmm.
case is, because I chose USEC. I said, you know what? I'm really going to concentrate on using only NATO style weapons this wipe. So yeah, my AR 100% is got to be the M4 is what I've used the most.
Yeah, yeah. I think mine. I can probably even look right now, but mine it's got to be AK 74. 545 AKs. I think
Mm,
is what I've just been demolishing people with. It's just I don't know what it is with 545 AKs. A lot of people don't like them, but I just love them, man. It's the right now recoils is really hard to control because of the new recoil and inertia and everything.
mm-hmm.
And 545, it's for it's 7.62, but for the soft shoulder person,
Sure.
So, and there's really good 545 rounds. I feel like M4s, just because of their fire rate, are hard to control. Even if they do have the same stats, they're harder to control because the
Mm-hmm.
fire rate's more.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I don't
and
hold. I was never a big uh hold left click guy anyway.
yeah,
But even before this patch, so that hasn't affected me as much. But yeah, I understand completely. The M4
yeah,
can be a handful, even with all the meta bullshit on it. It can still be a handful.
yeah, yeah. It is. It is. And I think I don't know if it hasn't really felt any different. I think it's because it's leveling up your rifle skills or anything. I don't know if it's because it's so gradual that you don't even feel it or what it is, but have you noticed it really? I mean, for recoil or for
No, but
anything like that?
like I said before, I don't. I wasn't a big, just hold down left click
Sure.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
I tapped and bursted a bunch, and by no means do I condone being a burst guy, because that is dog shit in this game.
yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
terrible. It's a terrible idea.
You know what's so funny? I was thinking about that the other day. I was watching like some military videos of, I think it was EUL gaming or whatever, and he was a arms dealer.
Hmm.
But and I was like, wait 1 second. Doesn't like military do 2 round, 3 round bursts? Isn't like that the thing? Why is it in this game when you do a 3 round burst, it's a fucking 6 foot difference, at 10 yards or
Yeah,
10 meters?
yeah. I think it's completely over exaggerated for
Yeah,
this game, but I think it's one of those things that they're still playing with, like
yeah,
ridiculously. They're still playing with those numbers and values of what recoil should look like. But
true.
I don't know. For right now, for me specifically, just being a tap guy, a DMR style guy, even with AR weapons, even with
Yeah.
the M4, has worked better for me.
I mean, in past wipes too, the M4 DMR or whatever you want to, if you want to say it like that. But
Hmm.
I mean, that's been the gun that a lot of people do Shooterborn to Heaven with too, because it's just overall a great gun for
Right.
MOE and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
Um.
the 5.56 travels the speed of
Oh
light.
yeah. Yeah, that round is ridiculous, real
Yeah.
life and in the game. But so let's go to shotgun. Go to shotgun this wipe.
It's just been the
I
double
know.
barrel, just because it's been such a meme
Really?
cannon and so much fun. I love the double barrel. It's ridiculous.
Wow, dude! I thought you were gonna say fraud cannon, man.
No, I haven't used the fraud cannon that much until we just got to that shoreline or the Punisher quest where I had to
Yeah.
use a shotgun. I hadn't even used the fraud cannon that much until then.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, fraud cannon's the MP-153. It's the semi-automatic um, uh, Russian shotgun, basically.
Yeah, we call it the fraud cannon because that's where we got it from. Deadly.
Deadly slow.
Yeah, Deadly Slav is it came up with the fraud cannon thing.
Yeah, because you can make it literally, I think 12 slots or something ridiculous. 14 slots, I think.
It's
Which
long.
nobody wants to put in their backpack
Yeah.
or even on their back.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mostly, and it was early wipe. I haven't used a lot of shotguns since, except for, like I said, the quest where I was using that 153. But yeah, just the double barrel. It's a blast. It's cheap as shit, right? It doesn't cost you anything if you lose it.
Yeah.
You can still fill it with Magnum Buck, and it
For
will
real.
fuck people up.
Dude, I think I killed Tigilla twice with Magnum
Magnum
fucking a In a double barrel.
In a double barrel, yeah, exactly. And if you lose it, so what, right? And it's fun.
7,000 rubles, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And you turn and I know it's not optimal, but you turn on the double barrel. What is it called? The dual
Double tap, I think.
double tap or whatever it is, and it's just with Magnum buckshot, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
It does.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
that's been my go-to for the shotties.
It's right about 9,000 rubles.
Yeah.
Dude, it's cheaper than a fucking Glock. It's cheaper, I think, than a PM pistol.
Probably.
Let me see. Oh, dude, no, it's PM's is 6,500.
Oh, really?
The double barrel is 8,000.
And so they both have similar effective ranges, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously the PM can reach out a little further, but similar effective ranges, and the the fucking 12 gauge is so much more deadly
And more fun.
and more fun. Yeah, exactly.
Unless you want to do some weird labs 0 to hero with a Makarov, but that's the only time you're gonna have fun with that fucking gun. You know, make something happen.
I mean, even with the crazy ammo that's out there for 9x18 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I that's how little I've done 9x18, so I have no idea.
So I think your best pen you're gonna get on 9x18 is like 20 fucking 9.
Oh, okay.
But you can get decent damage, flesh damage. I think it's up in the 70s. I might be wrong on that. With SP7, but it's still like.
Well, that's what everybody's running in the PP, right?
Yeah.
Or in the Clin, excuse me.
Yes.
Clin, not the PP.
Yeah. That's like the.
Because that's the leg meta thing.
Mm-hmm. And leg meta's it's surprisingly more useful this way. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But
yeah,
I've been kind of a leg meta guy in the past too. So.
Yeah, because now it dispersed to all the non-black limbs.
Yeah.
Before it would disperse to black limbs, and that
Right.
damage would just go away.
Yeah.
But now it goes to only non-black limb, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But that can save you in some instances too. If you have a blacked out limb and somehow your head got blacked out, I don't think you would die from getting shot in the leg.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Where before, like early when we first started playing, you got shot in a blacked out limb, you're dead.
Yeah.
Didn't matter the damage, didn't matter anything. You got hit in a blacked out limb, you're dead.
Yeah, dude, I remember walking into fucking barbed wire with a blacked out leg, and I just fucking tripped over it and died. Yeah. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. And remember when barbed wire did like 4 times damage, and you would walk into it for like half a second and fucking die?
Black out everything.
And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
It was a menace on customs right next to the Connex when you're going inside the Connex and going,
Construction, yeah.
So talked about a few of the guns. Pistols, we can just go over pistols. Just talk about everything.
My favorite right now is the 45 USP.
Yeah, I think everybody can agree that's the fun gun to run.
Yeah.
Let's
or the Glock. I still use the Glock almost all the time if I'm going to run a pistol.
Yeah, and it's super modular, so you can make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, with it. I don't usually. I'm like the only time I'm really running the Glock is when I'm doing bolt action, and I like to have a sidearm. So I just leave it base.
Speaking of bolt action, go-to bolt action.
M700's the one I've used the most. Like I said, I've been trying to keep with NATO guns, and I think that's the only NATO gun bolt action, right?
No, the T5000. I think the TX5000.
TX5000 is Russian.
Is it? Crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah. I think that's the only one.
You might
technically
be right.
NATO.
Yeah, I think so. Mine, my go-to already. It's pretty obvious.
Oh,
guess it.
I guess, yeah. We both use the shit out of the squirrel gun. I mean, I could the 336 TKM bolt action rifle, the what is it?
VPO 215.
Yeah, I guess I could have said that too. I do use the shit out of that gun as well. just because it's so much fun to use. Again, like the double barrel, it doesn't cost a damn thing,
Yeah,
and you put that AP round in there, and it fucks.
dude, it has like a 80% chance to go through level 4 armors. You have a chance to one shot armors at a pretty decent distance. I mean, one shot through level 4 armors
You know,
to the thorax. I mean, it's a fun gun to use, even though the bullets travel slower than fucking anything else in the game, I think. So, and then oh, I didn't even say my favorite shotgun. Obviously, my favorite shotgun's the Sega with the drum mag. You can't go wrong with that shit.
sure.
Um, and then I think I just DMRs left. I'm sure I missed something, but I don't. It's probably not important, so I don't care.
Haven't used that many DMRs. I have about 4 or 5 of the TX15s in my stash right now, and I've got a couple of the what's the 308 version of that, the
The SR-25.
SR-25. So I got a couple SR-25s in my stash. I haven't really taken them out that much. So I guess probably my most used would be something like the Hunter, Pepper Hunter.
Gotcha.
Just because I would get those in a scav raid or something like that, and I would use it.
Gotcha.
But all DMRs in general, I just haven't used that much of.
Yeah, I got.
Maybe the RFB.
Oh, dude.
I've had I've had a few raids with the RFB.
I think that might be overall best budget gun in the game. 40K. You literally don't need to put anything other than a maybe a muzzle device. If you want to put a suppressor on, that's like another 40K, doubles the price of the gun, and then
As all suppressors do.
true, and then a foregrip, and dude, it's 2 attachments, your sight, 3 attachments then, and that gun's ready to go, and it fucks with M80 even, you know.
Yeah, M80 is just too good. So any of the M80 guns I think are just good. I guess
Yeah.
I ran a few raids with an M1A as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. DMR is kind of hit and miss for me right now. Mainly just because of my bank account in the
Yeah.
game. I can't afford to run them that much, so I haven't.
Yeah, I have to go with the SVD. I just love that gun so much. I love it so much. You can't go wrong with an SVD. Put SMB in it, or even set a 7N1, or now what's now is PS, I guess.
Sure.
And you just you fuck bitches, dude. That gun wrecks.
Yeah. I don't even think I've used an SVD at all this wipe so far. I haven't even gotten to that quest where you have to yet.
I think it's your next one.
Oh, for
Punisher.
Punisher. I have to
Part
finish
6.
the one I'm on now, which is kill guys with wearing a PACA and SB helmet. So
SB, yeah, 47.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
when you finish that quest, you get BP 762. You unlock BP 762 for proper.
oh, cool.
Yeah. So, speaking of DMRs, I kind of wanted to go into what you think late game meta is going to be for the average Joe. We already know what late game's going to be for the Giga Chads. They're all going to be running their HKs or their M4s modded out, and stuff like that. But I think,
but hold on. Do you really think they are?
yes, because I think the guys that are putting 16 12 hours a day in the game are going to have a high enough recoil skill and a high enough AR skill or rifle skill to be able to deal with the recoil.
But that's not my concern. I agree with you there. It's ammo. I mean, what the problem is how do you get enough ammo to continuously run that gun? How do you get enough 995 or even 855A1 to continuously run that gun?
Right now, it's killing other guys running the same gun. So if you go on labs, I've watched a few raids. By all means, I'm not a fucking master of this shit.
We haven't even touched labs.
Not even
touched.
Once.
Not once.
Not even once.
Yeah.
But I've watched a few videos. I watched Smitty Stone. I don't know. He just reached 1 billion rubles for the first time.
Jesus.
Yeah, 60 days in the white. Ridiculous. But he was running M61 on a SA58 and M995 in a M4 for almost 18 hours a stream. just the whole time.
See,
So
I think the M61 is going to be more of the thing,
yeah,
personally. For those chads, right? I see that, especially with what they did to the FAL, this last little mini patch they did.
yeah,
I see that turning into the meta gun, that flipping FAL kitted out.
yeah.
But that, or for some reason, especially for something like Labs, there's still a lot of dudes that like the MP7.
Oh, true. And Subsonic is super good in it. Have you fucked around with that
I
yet?
have not. I have not at all. No. Again,
Um,
it's a gun that's too expensive for someone that runs in the in the financial bracket that I run in to be able to
honestly,
run. You know what I mean?
honestly, not really anymore. If you go MP7 and you get, let me look it up real quick. And you get the black one, the A, what is it, the A1 or the A2?
hmm
A1. 40K, man. The gun itself is 40K.
It's never about the gun. In most cases, the guns themselves are not the deciding factor. It's the ammunition. What ammunition costs.
Yeah, I just buy it because I'm a fucking mongoloid
Well, you
doofus that
also
just
have 14 million. You can buy whatever round you want, and it doesn't affect your bottom line. Or if I buy a significant amount of of a certain round that's over 500 rubles a round, it puts a dent in my wallet.
I mean, you can buy per wipe, I mean per reset for mechanic. You can buy 400 at 463 a round. So you might want to look into that actually.
Yeah, but that's mechanic level what? Because I may
3?
not even have that yet unlocked yet.
Oh yeah, you need 40 for mechanic level 3.
Uh,
No, you don't. You should have it unlocked.
what are we looking at? SX Subsonic Echo SX.
Yep, yep,
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can do that.
yeah. I mean, that's something to look into.
Yeah. I mean,
But
but with the maps we play, where would I run this gun?
shoreline
Yeah,
in
I
the
guess
in the
in the
resort.
resort. Yeah,
Yeah,
but half of our engagements are outside.
true.
I mean,
I feel like
honestly,
we rarely get in fights in the resort.
although we did that just last night, fucking ended up killing 3 guys there
Nice.
because you
Yeah.
fucking died early, so I actually had a
Yeah.
chance to kill people.
Dude, you have no idea. I went to bed thinking about that fight. I'm like, how did I not headshot that guy? I went to
See,
bed.
so that's funny because that right there tells me that this game is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how I can gauge. Because I've been playing games for a long fucking time, boys. Like legitimately, I've been playing games and back when computers were a 386 and 8 megabytes of hard drive was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing games for a long time, and that's how I know when I'm playing a good game is when you close your eyes and it just you see it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Yeah.
that's
I
it's when it gets into the subconscious, and this game does that
dude,
unbelievably.
I'd literally have dreams about it. Like I had a dream the other night that they added fucking oh god, what was it? I think it was you could get struck by lightning, and I was so pissed because I got struck by lightning. I was like, "Fuck you, Nikita!" In my dream, dude.
So you're getting tilted off of shit that isn't
Yeah,
even in the game
yeah, it's
in
not
your
even in the
dream.
game.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm blaming Nikita for it already
That's
because I
great.
know he would add something like that.
That's great.
We're gonna kind of transition because that's a good segue. Is speaking of Nikita talking about deaths, what about the permadeath thing?
Hold on. That can be. Do you want to do that now?
I mean, if you want to, we're a little bit over halfway in.
Oh, we are, aren't we? Yeah, we're at
Yeah.
40. Yeah. Okay. Um, the permadeath thing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I haven't had I just heard about that today actually.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to hear any of the context surrounding it or anything, so I don't know what that's all about or how I feel about it yet. I probably need to spend a little more time on it, but um I mean, as of right now, it doesn't bother me that much because of the way the game plays. Who cares? You reset your account. People do it for fun all the time right now. You know, guys that
Yeah.
play, the guys that play this game a bunch, they'll either they have a new account, standard account or whatever, and they'll restart anyway. So I don't know that bugs me that much, but I don't know. I maybe, I mean, you've listened or looked into it a little more than I have, so.
Yeah, so what they're talking about is like, so in labs, that one tent that has like the spill. This is what I'm assuming, but they're talking about areas like this.
Mhm.
The one tent in labs where they have the spill barrels that look like it's fucking obviously radioactive,
Yeah.
and you get a couple lead X's in there or whatever. So I think they're going to talk about locations like that where you can choose not to go into them. You can literally go through a whole wipe, not go into one of those, and it's not going to change your gameplay whatsoever. But if you want that good loot, and you want it like that, you're gonna have to have protection on for radiation or whatever it is, maybe a Geiger counter or something, and go loot it. But you are risking basically your whole account, or your permadeath, your character for permadeath. And he was talking about there's no cure for it. There's not gonna be a cure. There's not gonna be anything. If you get irradiated, you're fucked.
Hmm.
And I heard a few people talking about they don't know if it's going to be a long thing, it's going to last like a week, or if it's going to be almost instantaneous or somewhere in between. But that's just kind of what I've heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some kind of gameplay wrapped up around it, right?
Yeah,
Then it just seems like, I don't know, to me, like I said, first off, not hearing a lot about it. It just seems like a kind of a way that they want to gate some of the super high level loot behind.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, we already have that with locked rooms and
True.
red key card and shit like that,
even,
right?
And scav boss,
And
scav bosses.
Yeah,
They
true.
hide in usually like high loot areas. Look at Gluhar. He's a lot of the time. Actually, he's not.
Yeah, he's not too bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting concept, and I like the idea. I don't know, and it would be cool for, like I said, another way to gate some of that super high end loot behind something that you have to find.
Yeah.
To outfit yourself with and go get, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to see how it plays out. There's a lot of features in this game that I think we have to see how it plays out before we make real judgments against.
True.
And that's just another one. I think a lot of people especially in this game just jump on things and panic.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Good and bad. I see it I see it both ways. And you're, the example of you at the beginning of this wipe is a prime example of that, right? With the inertia thing. And
I mean,
and
honestly, I was that way with healing and healing animations.
you were that way
was
with
the thing.
you were that way with weight too.
With weight, yeah. Yeah. Hello?
Sorry, I got interrupted.
Hello? That's all good. But yeah, with the healing anime, I was so pissed. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking game. We don't need goddamn animations. What are you doing, Nikita?
But okay, admit that in the long run that was a better thing.
Oh, 100%.
For the game.
I was just pissed. I don't like change, and I was having fun the way it was.
Right.
I liked running away and spamming E to get all my fucking meds done. and at that point, you could literally spam it as fast as you could, and if you could get 2 heals off at the same time, 2 limbs.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
that came into the game, and you were pissed.
Yeah.
But that also at the same time, was it the same time that they brought in surgical kits? Was that the same? Was that the exact same patch? I thought it was.
I think it was a little bit later, but I could be wrong.
Which is one of the best things that they've ever brought into this game.
I agree. I've heard a lot of people talk about when you used to have a black limb in a raid, you found your exit and you left right away. You went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's no way you're going to be able to win a fight or do anything else.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Surgical kits is one of the best additions to the game so far. I
Yeah.
mean, for for staying in the raid, I guess,
Well,
for
even
longevity of a
even
raid.
for yeah, exactly, and even for guys like us, me specifically more than you is, I'll get in a fight with a scav and he'll black a limb, I'll kill him, but now, before it was okay. Now I gotta go, right? I gotta
Yeah,
find an exit and I gotta hobble my ass to an exit, right?
yeah,
Or run to an exit while you're taking damage and you're spamming E, you
yeah,
know, to heal yourself as you're sprinting, right?
yeah,
But now you can now as a guy who plays probably especially solo, more PvE than PvP.
yeah.
I can fix myself and continue and go out
Oh
and
yeah.
murder scavs
Until
and
you get shot in the same arm 3 times and it blacks out and you have
true,
6 fucking health in the arm.
true.
I hate that shit. God, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad when I have. It's like I feel like I have a baby arm. Like Deadpool when his fucking hand was a baby. I feel like that's my arm after 3 surgeries, dude. Yeah. So I have
So anyway,
what?
yeah, I guess the long answer to that whole thing is I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll have to wait and see.
yeah. I agree. I think it's going to not do much for the average Joes like us, because we're just not gonna go in those locations. I
Probably.
mean,
I mean, just
yeah.
like
So
labs. Since
yeah.
ever since they locked labs down, uh, I would when labs was open to everybody,
Hmm.
I would go there constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Blake and I lived in labs,
Yeah.
when we played. And since they locked labs down to where you need the key card and everything to get in, I've probably played labs a dozen times.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I actually have a Labs card right now that it's burning a hole in my pocket. I'm like, God, I could sell it for 80K, but
I think last wipe I played labs 3 times, and one of those was to complete tour spot or
yeah,
whatever it was. Is that the
yeah. I think it's called. It's like something tour.
where
It's
yeah
not
where you have
spa
to you have
tour.
to survive every single map once without
Yeah,
dying.
yeah,
Um, that was the only. I think I maybe played it 2 more times, just because. But those other 2 times may have been after when the wipe was announced and they opened up labs.
yeah.
So
I don't
yeah,
know.
I just don't play labs.
Yeah,
I don't play labs anymore because it's full of giga chads, and I'm more than likely not gonna survive anyway, because
yeah,
it's not. I can't or don't compete with that shit. And then the whole cheater thing. There was
yeah,
a cheater.
yeah. I was about to say it's so disheartening to go on there and then die, and then half the time you don't know if this guy has 7,000 hours in the last this wipe, or if it was just a cheater. You know, it's sometimes it's so impossible to tell.
Yeah,
Like what the fuck just happened.
yeah.
So I mean, it's very disheartening, and like that's what makes labs hard for me to swallow. I mean, and honestly, right now it feels like labs is a I mean, it feels like a shoreline resort is a mini version of labs right now. But not with that many giga chads. It just do you get what I'm saying though? Like a lot of geared people go there right now.
Oh
I think
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where we've gotten the majority of our geared fights
yeah,
has been at the shoreline location.
yeah. That and fucking factory for some reason. I've gotten in so many geared fights into factory.
Factory's weird, man. It's either complete chads or complete, pistolings
Yeah,
running around.
yeah,
I mean, even was it last night when we were doing your fort armor quest to knock your fort armor down.
yeah.
Um, we had two geared guys, or no, they were two 5'7" guys
Yep.
and a and a hatchling, a literal hatchling, running around with his red rebel, and that's it. I'm like, what are you doing here, buddy? And he was level 38.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is a level 38 hatchling doing in factory this late in the wipe?
I don't know. I would love to talk to that guy and maybe see. help from him or something because that makes no fucking sense. He has a red rebel and he's going into fucking factory with nothing. What the fuck does?
Maybe he's just trying to puff his chest out and take down Tagilla with a red rebel.
If he was, that guy has the biggest balls of them all. I think we're gonna kind of how much what are we at right now time wise?
We're sitting about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, so we can talk about a few more topics. I have a few topics written down that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go over the RTM problem and item limiting in your inventory and stuff like that.
Okay.
So right now you can't have more than 3 lead X's in your inventory. I believe it's 3.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I haven't heard any of this.
So you can't have more than 3 lead X's in your inventory. If you find more than 3 in a raid, you literally can't pick that 4th one up.
Really?
Because yes. So I don't know if it's got to be like a RMT thing or something like that. But they just made it to, you know, the bullbacks, the ratchets, and the other ratchets.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have more than 4 of them in your inventory at one time. Because of, I believe it's because a lot of people think it's because of RMT.
The RMT stuff, yeah, I can
Yes.
see that, yeah.
But here's the thing: is why don't they just make a flag system of if that person has 4 or more not found in raid, lead X's or the Bulbexes or whatever the fuck you're looking at, and flag items, and if somebody has more than those not found in raid in their inventory, you flag that person and then you watch what their behavior is. Do you think that would be hard to follow?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know exactly what the back end looks like for these guys. I think just in general, I think there's been a lot of decisions made, you know, in this game to try and hold back or thwart RMT stuff, you know, stuff like, you know, taking stuff off of the auction or the flea market, or, you know, there's been a plethora of different things to try and stop the RMT guys. And some of it's probably worked better than others, but in the end it's kind of, I mean, like, for instance, one of your biggest bitches has always been the cost to post stuff on the flea market, right?
Which I want to get into a little bit.
And that has been I'm sure that was a response to the RMT guys. And has it worked? Obviously not, right? There's still RMT shit out there. And they found ways around it. But and does it artificially stop some of the gameplay that could happen in this game? Some kind of cool gameplay? Absolutely. And I think that's the issue that's the biggest problem for me, is that it is just like in real world, right? The free market, you know, we don't have a free market here. We can't set free market prices on super rare shit. I mean, let's be honest, a lead X is fucking rare. A red key card is really fucking rare. You know, but you don't get to see what the actual value of those things are in the system right now because of these artificial constraints they've put on it to deal with these real money traders.
I think it's ridiculous. You find this super rare red key card, right? It's super rare, 35 million or whatever it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be right around there. I put it up for 35 million. I have to pay 30 million in fucking fees. How does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think the fee system it was a thing they put in to try and stop the real money stuff. And it kind of sort of worked. But it needs to be rethought. Personally, I don't like it. I understand why it's there, and I mean, whatever. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I think there's been a bunch of that stuff that should be fixed.
Yeah, I mean,
Personally.
I understand a money sink in a game like this because you can get money
Mm-hmm.
really fast, and a money sink like the fees are perfectly fair. Like RuneScape has had a free market, old school RuneScape has had a free market for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just added a 1% tax to every item in the game, like 1%, and
Right.
they've already, I think it was they're estimated to get like a trillion GP or whatever it is this year from
Mm-hmm.
1% tax, which is a money sink. Um,
Sure.
but I mean, you could literally do a flat tax, let's just say 10% or whatever you put on there, or even less, and then that would work for a money sink. And then, like I said, with the flagging thing, I don't think flagging people would be hard, right? I mean, they already kind of do it with cheaters.
Right.
They flag the cheaters and then they watch the cheaters and then they pounce on them all at once because they do the ban wave.
Right.
So why not have a
Although,
flagging
from what I
system?
understand, the bandwave thing is not a thing anymore.
Really?
They're not waiting and banning in waves anymore, or at least that's what I heard. But who knows?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it would just make sense. Whoever you flag, whoever put up that item, whatever it may be. Let's just say it's a fucking bandage, a one-use bandage for 20 mil. You flag the person who put it up for 20 mil, and you flag the person who bought it. You watch both of their behaviors. You ban them both if they keep on doing it, or if it's really sus or whatever it is.
Mm.
I mean, and then normal people like us, we don't have to worry about. Oh, dude, I just got a violet key card. That's 7 mil. 3.5 mil of it has to go to fees.
Not even that, but I mean, like, look at what Caleb got. Right? He's got. Is it the green key card he has?
No, yeah, it's 2 Marins.
Marin's 2 Marin keys that he can't even sell.
No.
He has no desire. He doesn't like running Lighthouse that much. He has
Yeah.
no desire to use that Marin key. He wants to sell them, but he can't. He physically can't. First of
Yeah.
all, it costs too much to try and sell it. You know, for him, he doesn't have the bank account like you do, where
Yeah.
he's more like I am, right? Sitting in
Yeah.
the 1 million area. So he can't even sell the damn thing, right? And the everything else, his gets lost in the shuffle because he's like I just want to do some barter trades,
Yeah.
but there's no way to sort by barter trade either
Yeah.
because he was like I would just take I can't remember exactly what he said, but
I think
something
he
that
said like a red
oh
rebel
no
and a Dorms.
no one of the things he was talking about, he's like, fuck it, give me 50 sugars.
Yeah.
I'll take 50 sugars for it. Just so
Yeah.
I can get rid of it. And then he could turn around and convert sugar into money, or whatever
Yep.
the case is. And it's like it makes the normal person impossible when they find something cool and rare, but they don't want to use it. Me, if I found a red key card, any key card at this point, right? I haven't
Yeah.
found any labs key cards.
I haven't either.
But we just talked about how little we play labs. What the
Yeah.
fuck am I going to do with a labs key card? I'm not going to be able to post it on the flea market
No.
for any
No,
reasonable amount of money,
It's
unless
gonna
it's one of the common ones.
Yeah, it's gonna sit in your stash until the end of the wipe because there's nothing else you can do with it.
Right. And
Yeah,
you're not going to
it-
sell it to therapists for 30K.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense. I hope they address that. I know they have more dire issues.
Needs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be nice for the average Joe because guys like us don't have 12 million to post a post a red key card or a violet key card and get the whatever. And I mean, I do, but I'm not trying to whatever. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Breaking out your humble brag there.
I try to sneak it in.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So I think real money trading is something I want to attack, but it's hurting the overall experience of the game,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Another fun one I wanted to jump into right before we kind of end and conclude everything up. I was thinking the other day, what if they added bump stocks into the game, right? So yeah, I know, interesting, right? I was thinking the VPO 209, the 336
Mhm.
AK, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can put a buffer tube on that, and if you can put a buffer tube, that means you can put a bump stock, and if you can put a bump stock, that means it can be sort of, kind of automatic.
I
What
know,
do you
but,
think?
but okay. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting, right? Or like
Yeah,
the stuff that's all having the ATF in a shit fit right now with the M4s.
dude.
Have
Yeah,
you seen that, the force
yeah,
reset triggers?
yeah, the
Yeah.
force. What about that shit for TX15s? Even though you could buy a $20,000 M4 lower and throw all the parts on the. But what if you wanted to fuck around and just have the force reset trigger? Right? Wouldn't that be fun?
So, but how would you implement that in the game? Because in real life, to deal either the force reset trigger or a bump stock is you have to put just the right amount of pressure either on the stock or on the trigger itself to get it to reset and continue to go.
So I have 3 thoughts about this.
Okay.
First off, link how good you are with the bump stock with your gun skill for whatever gun it is. If it's the AR, yeah. See, I didn't think that either. Other one is make the rate of fire variable, so it will go faster, slower, depending just as you're shooting, because you can't make a consistent.
Control it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then the third is
That's not bad.
and then the third is if you want to do it like that, maybe have it to sometimes where it stops, because you know how sometimes they have bump fire
And then you have to pull the trigger again.
You have to pull the trigger again.
Okay.
To start it again.
So something similar to the malfunction.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you just
But
have to pull the trigger again.
Yeah, I think it would be. It's not necessary. It's not like something that you need to do, but I think it'd be fun.
No,
And there's a
you brought something up that I have not heard anybody talk about at all.
yeah,
And it's just probably because it's only an NA thing, right?
Yeah.
It's only a North American thing. Bump stocks and force reset triggers and all that. Those are all things that come from us because of our legislation and how firearms are done around here, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, those things aren't even conceived in other countries across the world. Even, you know, and Russia is probably the same way. So in lore wise, they wouldn't make any sense, right? Because they wouldn't be in Russia. A bump stock and
Peacekeeper imports NATO stuff, which I know it wouldn't be considered NATO, but I think there's a lot of shit he sells that's not really considered NATO by all means.
I don't know. I think it's a cool idea and I like the concept. I don't know how it would play out in the game, but it's super cool. I haven't heard nobody at all bring that up before, and it's kind of funny. I like it. I like it. It's kind of cool.
I think it would be fun, and you can make it like an early game Peacekeeper thing, because you're not going to fuck around with it late game. Obviously, you're going to be able to go
right. You're
so
just
make a level 1 Peacekeeper thing, and then you can fuck around with an 8R with a bump stock. You know, wouldn't that be fun?
I think that's cool. I think that's cool. I like you said, it's not needed or wanted or anything, right away. But that's a interesting thing, and it's absolutely something that is physical, is real, it could be put on guns in the United States right now. But yeah, that's cool. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day, driving to fucking Kennewick or something. I'm like, that would be fun.
All right.
What do we got?
So we get into our post raid, trying to clean out our inventories, sell some shit off.
Yeah. So for our first one, I don't think it was bad, right? I think we had a few good topics.
We gotta talk about shit we watch, right? That's the whole point of the post raid. Come on, man. That was the whole point of the post raid. Talk about like a video or two that we watched, that we thought was super cool.
My bad. Fuck.
Yeah. And I think I'll go first here because I do want to talk about it, and we've talked about it before a little bit, but the video I watched just recently, which I thought was cool, was, I think it was Axel TV, did a thing where he ran every single map in the system. I think he skipped interchange. Let me go back to the main menu and look at the maps real quick, because I can tell you what he skipped just by looking at the map. So he went shoreline to lighthouse, and he had to use the lighthouse exit on shoreline, right?
Yeah.
And then he went from lighthouse to factory, or no, lighthouse to reserve, and he had to use the train exit, or the other exit that would connect those two maps together.
Okay.
And then from reserve to factory to customs, customs to interchange, and doing all of those things. And he couldn't, when he got out of the raid, he couldn't heal, eat, drink, buy new ammo. He couldn't do anything. He had to go right into the next raid. So everything needed to be done in raid. And it was super cool. It was super cool to watch. Because he also told himself, you know, he had to exit to the thing, to get to the next map, basically.
Mhm.
So it was super cool to watch, and of course, because the dude's a freak, he does it first try. You know,
Oh.
of
Dude,
course.
that guy's badass.
Yeah.
That guy fucks.
But it was a neat thing to watch. And then literally the same day, I think it was Queen FPS posted something super similar that she
Really?
wanted to do. Not so much the just get in and out to the next raid, but her thing was very similar, where you started at shoreline, but you did every single map. Starting at shoreline, she had every map on there, not and where he skipped woods because
Yeah.
it didn't make sense, right? She said every single map, and you couldn't leave, you couldn't extract until your backpack was full of
Oh.
of gear to sell. Then you could extract, empty your backpack into a spot in your stash, go into the next raid. So you still couldn't heal, you still couldn't buy new shit, you still couldn't do
Okay.
eat or drink or anything, if I remember right. And then you do the same thing, and then at the end you sell that entire stash was worth of stuff to see how much money you made.
That's cool.
That was
That's pretty
cool. And so she had like a little point system or something set up for how much money you made, as to where you ranked with it. But I thought that was a cool idea too. Both things that, and she had it to where you had to go to labs, but if you didn't, you had to find the labs key card in your raids.
Oh, that's so sick.
And if you got to interchange and still hadn't found a labs key card, you had to continue to go to different maps until you could find a labs key card to go to labs.
Wow. Did
Yeah.
she do it? Has she done it?
I don't know. I said that was all on Twitter that I saw that, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she's done it yet or not. I should
okay.
check and see. But yeah, I thought that was a cool another little spin on the same kind of play style. But
Yeah.
looking at Tarkov as more of an open world type, quote unquote game, I thought it was kind of cool. Anyway,
Speaking of the open world thing, I think that will be a topic for next time.
absolutely, because I have some thoughts on that.
I have some thoughts on it. I'm gonna be honest with you, not all positive, but
Yeah.
we'll get more into that later.
And I think I'm a little more positive on it. So I think that's a good subject for next time for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, for everybody who's watching, we don't see eye to eye on everything.
No,
Just
sure.
so you know.
For sure.
There might be a little bit of a shouting match at times. Not all the time, but there might be.
No. And to also let both you guys know, we do both stream. I haven't streamed in a long time.
Both of you guys?
Well, both of us. Yeah, anyway. We both stream, right? I haven't streamed in quite a long time. I'm actually a what is it, associate? Is that the one where you can have a sub button and shit?
Yeah.
I'm an associate. I am going to get back into streaming now. Moved into a new office area. My job, I moved into a new job a couple years ago, and that was kind of chaotic, and now I can be a little more set with that, so I'm going to start streaming more. And then he streams, Dirty streams a bunch too, and it's Dirty and Highmark, so come by and check us out, and we will have these arguments as we're playing the game.
Oh yeah, and those get a lot more heated, and usually screaming match, and name calling, fun stuff.
Father son shit.
Oh yeah. Well, not every father son, I would say, says the shit that we say to each other.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
Yeah. I just want to talk about one video. I watched the Jesse Kazam. I watched like a stream highlights of him, and I talked a little bit about it. That motherfucker brings in coal packs.
Yeah, we talked about this last night while we were playing.
Yeah, we did. That motherfucker brings in coal packs and puts them on his dead bodies like a serial killer's mark. So funny. It's so funny. I need to find something like that. I wish I could, like, I should just bring in armbands and just throw them in people's pockets. So when people fucking, like, I want something like that so bad.
That's hilarious, actually.
I want something like that. It's just like, almost psychotic. It's great.
Well, it's like some of those old guys we've seen in the past where they'll just bring a backpack full of random shit.
Yeah.
And then if you kill them, you open up their backpack. It's like, what in the hell?
Why do you just have, like, fucking chlorine? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, for sure. So one more thing to talk about, going with other content creators and, guys we kind of look at, or spend a lot of time with. Who are kind of your favorite guys to watch? Either live stream or videos.
So right now, man, it's got to be. I'm huge into podcasts.
Sure.
Huge. So I listen to two Tarkov podcasts. I listen to, obviously, the podcast, which this is very inspired. We're inspired by them. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Yeah.
I love Veritas. I know not everybody does, but anybody who doesn't, they can fuck off, whatever. And then Jesse Kazam's great too.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's a good guy.
And then there is another podcast called the Scav Talk podcast. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No.
Giga Beef is a YouTuber.
Okay.
Not one of my favorites, but he's a great YouTuber. And Air Wing Marines, one of his editors it's those two.
Oh, okay.
Air Wing Marines.
Love the Air Wing guy. Yeah, that guy's great.
Yeah, so it's those two, and I listen to them. I don't listen to them regularly, but I mean, when I'm driving a far distance and I gotta listen to something, I usually either throw them on or like something like that. But
sure.
And then YouTube channels. God, I don't even.
Okay, live stream. I know you don't get to watch live streams as much because you're driving all the time. So
yeah,
you don't
Hutch. If I ever get to see Hutch on Tarkov, I watch Hutch.
You like Hutch? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I think, like, the YouTube stuff. I don't watch nearly as much YouTube, Tarkov YouTube stuff, as I do live stream stuff. But the YouTube stuff I do watch is fucking General Sam. I mean, honestly.
How did I not even say that?
I don't know how you forgot General. And it's not because I don't agree with anything he says generally.
Oh, I don't either.
But is there somebody that puts more effort and style and into their YouTube video than that guy does?
I mean, can't.
Okay, the only one I will say this, and you said it before, even though we absolutely copied the podcast, I'm not a big Veritas fan.
Yeah, which is fair.
Streaming. I'm not a big fan. I don't like watching his stream that much. Granted, I'm going to be the first to say I haven't watched a lot of it, but I tend to not watch that much of his stuff. However, his scripted, put together YouTube videos, dude, that's some of the greatest Tarkov content. Period.
Dude, it's some of the greatest content. Period.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of his other stuff? Like, it's good shit.
Yeah, no, he does phenomenal work on his YouTube videos, like legitimately phenomenal work.
Yeah, I mean,
those two guys are great because and it's two completely different things, right?
Yeah.
Completely different things, but both of those guys are great. And I watch them. And then my go-to is Deadly. I will sit at work because I work from home, right? And I can have my laptop, or I can have my computer up, multiple screens, and I'll have Deadly up in the morning and watch Deadly. Because I don't think there's a better human being and I don't know the guy personally or anything, but just even when he takes an ass beating, and it's 100% a cheater. Have you ever heard that guy call anybody out as being a cheater or anything?
Maybe once.
I mean, most of the time it's most of the time it's GG, all right, and he rolls off and goes to the next one, and I love that guy for that, because I'm not that guy. I can't be that guy. I want to
Yeah.
be that guy, but I get too emotionally tied up, and I'm not good enough at this game that I I get salty and that kind of shit. But
Yeah, I never get salty.
I love watching that guy just because of how good he is at all that kind of shit, right? So anyway,
Yeah, he's one of those where you could just you could almost just listen to him just because he's just so calm, and like you could like listen to him at night, just like fall asleep to his because he's just like a calm, really cool, fun to watch guy, you
oh
know.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
And it's
he's kind of the goat
I agree.
in my opinion for streaming Tarkov.
Yeah, I mean he's been streaming it since fucking alpha, early
Yeah,
alpha, I think.
early boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and if I have to go with my all time number one streamer, it's got to be Summit 1G. I gotta bring that out there. I'm a
Yeah.
huge Summit fan. Always have been.
We've been Summit fans forever.
Mhm.
I've fallen off a little bit for the exact inverse of what I just talked about with Deadly.
Yeah.
Um, he can get pretty, especially lately, pretty salty about shit, and then I'm having a hard time with that. Um, but yeah, I've been a Summit fan forever. I mean,
So,
just how often do you remember when me and you and Bubba would play H1Z1
hmm
in the early days, the very early days of H1Z1,
yeah,
and we'd be screaming summits in the pit.
I was in the pit, dude. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, that brings back that. You know that brings me to. I just want to say one last thing. What do we got time wise?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. Yeah, we need to wrap her up.
Okay, I just wanted to say one more thing. It's ridiculous from when I started this game and
Hmm.
from right now the skill difference between the average player. Like I don't this wipe I've gotten like we said I've gotten more face taps than I've gotten face tap more than anything else.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that real quick that obviously the average player is doing a lot better than they were in the beginning.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much better everybody is.
Yeah.
And even I'm sure it's for guys, the 150 guys I've killed or whatever it was so far. I think the majority of them have probably even still been head eyes, and they're probably like, what the fuck? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's I'm not putting that as it's all cheaters, right? Because there are just good people that play this game
Yeah.
now. Because we've started seeing an influx of players from other, you know, big time shooters like CS:GO and stuff like that. So, and these
Yeah.
guys are just good.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
was good.
there's kids like you that have played CS:GO for their entire lives. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap this one up. This is our first ever podcast. First take too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We went
Ah,
completely blind and just went
we
at
should
it.
we should have fuck it and went with it. And honestly, not too bad in my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. If you guys
Don't you
enjoyed, please.
don't you dare. Don't you dare. You can just like and subscribe and all that horse shit.
No, I just wanted to. Come on, man, we're new. I don't know.
True, 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 true.
I don't know what to do. Fuck
the
it.
the cliche.
Yeah, if you didn't like it, fuck you. I don't know what else to say. It's the Opatchkast.
Yeah. See ya.
Peace.